There, I'm Artistic Gamer 7, and I'm back with another Create a Sim in the Flower series. This time around it is Dahlia, which was actually suggested by one of you. It was Jeannie Clem Sim. I think I'm saying that right. I'm always afraid that I'm going to pronounce things wrong when I mention someone. But I pronounce things that I usually sort of know how to pronounce them wrong, so that's also a thing. But anyway, back to the sim and the flower. In reference to a dahlia, I don't know why I didn't think, because some of these I actually just decided to create on my own because that we sold them in the greenhouse and things like that. And we do sell this one in the greenhouse, but for some reason it completely slipped my mind to even think about this one, and considering dahlia is a pretty popular one and such, so I didn't think to create it, but thank you for suggesting it, and here she is in the process of being created. Dahlias come in basically all colors except for like blues, so shades of blues you don't really see them in dahlias any, but basically every other shade they're there, and dahlias come in all different shapes and sizes. The blooms can be different sizes. The height of the plant can be different sizes of spread. But they're all a dahlia, and they all, at least when you get down and look at it, they're all basically base-wise the same. The ones I'm most familiar with, they tend to get pretty tall, but not like super tall, and they get very bushy, and then they have loads of huge beautiful big flowers on them. But there is another type that I've seen somewhat often, which is they have, instead of green like the ones that I was referring to earlier, mainly had a green stem and leaves. They have like a dark brownish purple almost stem and leaves, which I think that's pretty cool because I like green. Don't get me wrong, but I get tired of seeing green sometimes with all the plants, so I usually go for plants that don't have as much green. So, but anyway, they do really, really love the sun, hence why she's also tan and more that tan color. But I also had another reason for giving her that tan-ish color, sort of. It was like an olive tan. But, the thing that I found out about dahlia, well, there's two things I found out about dahlias that was pretty interesting. One of them is that they're the national flower of Mexico, and that was originally where they were found. It's not like the only place they grow, but that was originally where they was found. And apparently they were considered a vegetable until like the 19th century, which is really, really weird, I might add. So apparently like the little tubular thing, which is what the roots and stuff the plant grows out of under the ground, can be eaten, and was considered a vegetable and was eaten quite often, especially over in Europe. So, well, that's a little strange to me, because to me, Italia has always been and will always be this beautiful flower, and I will never think about eating it necessarily. But yeah, so there's that little interesting fact about the dahlia. But onto my sim, I was trying to get quite a few colors on her, but at the same time not go too crazy with her. I did do something different with her eye color, and instead of doing her eye color based off of one of the bloom colors, I actually did it based off of the fact that some of those dahlias were that darker stem brownish purple. So I did give her brown eyes. Also, the makeup that I had planned for, I thought it would have been really pretty. But yeah, but her hair took me forever to decide. I wanted to try to get a hair that had yellow, orange, and red all in it, and some of them did, but I just didn't like it on her face or her skin tone the way it was, and I could not get settled with a hair whatsoever. But I finally settled on this one, because I think it's really cute and really simple, but also very elaborate and pretty. Not necessarily elaborate, but just pretty, I guess. Bright, showy. So, and most of the dahlias that I am familiar with do tend to be on the yellow side. They also have oranges and reds and whites. So I was but I was like, yeah, I like this. I like the yellow. I think it's not too weird on her face and skin tone and stuff like that, and I gave her that I've been wanting to put that flower in someone's hair for so long. It doesn't look exactly like a dahlia bloom, but it looks close enough, especially from a distance. Technically, dahlias usually have multiple colors on their blooms, but it's fine. It's fine. We can pretend. But I just thought it looked really cute with her hair anyway, so I was like, found the perfect sim to put it on. Well, flower sim, because I think I've put it on sims before, but for flower sims, perfect. But I did end up going with more yellows, reds, whites, and oranges. Partially because that is the ones that I'm most familiar with, but I have seen like pinks and purples and so on. There's no actually, it doesn't have any blue flower tones, but I don't know. There are flowers out there that bloom green, which seems weird since the stem's green, but I'm not sure if a dahlia actually does too, but they have the green stem, so technically green is still represented in the dahlia. But there was a sort of, I tried to have a semi-Mexican vibe in some way, since it was the national flower of Mexico, apparently. I don't know how well I succeeded on that, but I chose certain things, and I really liked them, and then in the end, I liked how it all came together, so I was like, I'm not entirely sure if this is exactly where the path I was trying to go down, but I like it, so I'm sticking with it. So, but I think she turned out really, really cute, really pretty, and I love how she turned out, and I don't use this skirt too often either, so I like how these flower sims are getting me to use and do things that I don't do with a lot of my sims, so that's fun. But I do like how she turned out. I hope you have enjoyed how she turned out and her creative sim and everything as well. If so, please hit that lovely like button and subscribe to see future episodes of other flower series and other Sims 4 series I have going on in my channel, or on my channel. Also, don't forget to share the video so that others may enjoy it as well, and hit the little notification bell so you're notified when one of my videos goes live. All of the links to my Sims 4 playlist as well as my social media will be down in the description below, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye!